Hello. Is it still blurry on YouTube? That's blurry over here. Son of a bee. I wonder if that's the camera. The live stream. I'm testing the live stream. It's delayed and it's blurry. Like I see my tapping now. I did that like 10 seconds ago. Because YouTube has changed the way you do live streams. And you can't just go to YouTube and click live stream and then go live stream. You have to have a completely outside software and then start a live stream there. And then push it into YouTube. Well, see, here's the thing. You see that powered by StreamYard up at the top? That's what I'm using to bring the live stream over here. Over there, my video and my gesticulations here, those are accurate with the time. When it feeds over to YouTube, then there's a delay. Like I put a card down just now and I don't see it on YouTube. It'll come over in a second though. So the blurriness is just the camera. So I guess I won't worry about that too much. But the delay, okay, it's over here. Okay, good. Okay, then let me close my, I don't know. Because see, now the comments are moving faster on YouTube than they do over here. I don't like changes like that. Like all of a sudden. But they changed all of it. Like the YouTube studio where we basically do all our videos and editing and type in the names and all that crap. That's changed. Now this has changed. And take the card now. Put the card back down. See, it's in real time over here. Oh, have fun. That sounds fun. No delay. Okay. I hate YouTube sometimes. What will it do? Let's see. Why is it delayed over here? Like, look at, can you see the thing? It's delayed over here. Like big time delayed. You're not supposed to see anything. I'm just testing it. Well, it's live over here. So I guess that's good enough. Move that there. That there. I'm just testing, but I will read because I got the list ready, but I couldn't do it. It threw me off. So give me a second. I turned the thing on and then it said, "Oh, you need this outside stuff to do what you're trying to do." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, you just threw off my whole game here."
Yeah, you're taking me to the airport. And then my address is 1300.
I know, because now I don't feel like it. So let me get myself together. This is why people drink.
Let's go for 620.
All right.
That would be more than enough time.
Hi, Queen's Tarot. I'm going to start now.
My phone number.
And there's somebody talking loud in the background. Jesus, Christian.
Correct. You got me in your system, huh?
Yeah, I hear voices too. It's quiet until I hit record. Every time, I swear. When I hit record, then everybody wants to talk. Yes. Oh, Jesus, Christian. Lord have all the mercy. It does, doesn't it? Okay. Mercury retrograde is a son of a bitch, just in case I didn't tell you that before. Okay, let me hush. I'm going to get myself together. Okay, wait. Mercury retrograde is basically lost communications and bad technology. And I'm having both right now. But it'll be all right. So Beto O'Rourke drops out. Well, just starts. And why and what is he going to do now? Mind you, Texans really want him to run for Congress. Because I think Ted Cruz was one of those Donald Trump type things to where he sort of got in and people were like, what the heck just happened? And they want him to run again. So why did he drop out? I'm sure he said why, but I didn't read it because I want to do this. Because they're very generic. Well, he seems to be losing support or have lost support. Yeah, I mean, in the end, it was just more than he could actually do right now. There is leadership positions for him in the future, so he can go and try to take Ted Cruz's job one day. There is plans here in the environment. Just what crosses him right now is just support. So his campaign sort of just fizzled out, and people told him that. There's just support there telling him that there are other opportunities. But trying to get up to the top, trying to get that tangible support was just something he just couldn't do. Yeah, just lack of support. And him coming to the realization that it was time. So what's he going to do now? Thank you, Meter. What are you going to do now? And move on? Yeah, I guess so. There is another fight. He's not finished. He's just not going to be president. Because he still has money, like financial support. So there is something else calling him to be elsewhere. This is a searching for answers. So there is something else he needs to do. Another strategy that's moving on is part of the strategy. So quit this presidential race thing and then move on and fight a different fight. So maybe he will run for Congress, but whatever it is, he is definitely moving on because someone is behind his moving on. So being president, you would think that'd be the biggest thing you'd want to do, but apparently there's a different strategy. So good for him. So Nancy Pelosi says the biggest danger to the impeachment inquiry right now is not, well, she didn't say this. She didn't say it's not Mitch McConnell. I'm adding that in. She said the biggest danger to it right now is people's understanding of the process. And the longer it goes on, the more disenchanted we become. The more disenchanted we become, the better it is for Donald Trump, because then we don't care anymore. Okay. So does that mean she's going to try to do it quickly? And Mitch McConnell says this can be over by Christmas. So are they on the same page? Let's see. Because she said y'all would get news fatigue, and so this would be bad for the inquiry. Which is madness. Like we can walk and chew gum. We know how to pay attention. So, and besides, I mean, at this point, is there really a person sitting on the fence? Like, did he do it? Did he do? No. It's either you think he did or you don't care he did because you're his supporter anyway. And hello, my social keeper. Hello to everyone who has joined and is joining. I'm facing this way and the screen is over this way, so I don't actually see it all the time. 8 of Wands. So will you be trying to do this quickly? This is the Swift Energy card, so maybe she does want this over as fast as she can. Maybe Mitch McConnell's timeline is true. There's a strategy, 7 of Swords. There's some heartbreak at the base. Some separation. There's some transition, some rough transition. So she is hoping for I think, a quick return on her investment here. Clinging to the plans, I think Mitch McConnell shouldn't have let that out the bag, but there it is. But moving forward, moving on, a lot of efforts. 5 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. So yes, she's trying to move this quickly as well. In the delayed news here. So, but she does run into a couple of roadblocks. But as far as the inquiry is concerned, yeah, she's trying to move it forward too. Campbell, get you some earphones. That way you can listen. Yeah, there's the Emperor, the government, and then the 3 people that I constantly get. There's Nancy, working with the Democrats, trying to put the fool out. There's the bickering, the back and forth. These are the politics of it all. Just you don't know quite sure which way it's going to go. Investment of time, juggling at work. Yeah, so they're trying to move it on. They are making progress, and I don't know about this over by Christmas, but she is trying to make it happen as fast as she can. No, you don't want. You don't want irritable bowel syndrome. That's not good. All right. So Republicans supporting Donald Trump, yes or no? Not the little group of Gates and Jordan and Graham and these people. By the majority. This card flipped over just a minute ago. I think there is a strategy meeting and he's not a part of it. Because you start with confusion. You shouldn't be confused about whether you have support of your own party or not. But he is. There are some people that he keeps very close to the vest, like the Gates and the Jordans. They are there forever and ever and ever. They will die with this ship because they've kind of invested too much now, so they can't really back out. But there will be surprise in the completion. So I think once it's all said and done, this will, like, you'll see Republicans, not just hear about, vague ones like the, what's the guy? I don't know. Anyway, whatever his name was that said he read the Mueller report, the one, Justin Amash, that guy, it won't be just like that. It will be a big surprise, and it will be like a bunch of them on the CNNs and the MSNBCs and all these different places that will come out and speak against him. because everybody is cooperating and telling the same story when they go to court. Yes, he did this quid pro quo. Yes, he told me to be quiet about it. This, and this, and this, and you can't keep ignoring that. Even Republicans cannot ignore that forever. Now, Gates and them people, yes, but these people, no, because at some point they got to not be the Trump party. They have to either be Republicans and conservatives, or they have to be Trumpians. So, Gates. I'm just gonna do a general reading on Gates, Jordan, and Graham. Gates. How all those popped out like that, I don't know. You got death. You got secrets. You got the White House. You have some Four of Swords, which is like resting, but it's dead. And then the Fool, and then Justice. We'll call it sloppy shuffle and put them all back in, though. One didn't fly off, did it? Yes, it did. What was this? And then those two again. So Republicans got his number. I really think so. Gates. Talking. He feels very strong right now. And a part of this is not good. Not good for him. Because it's like he can't see the elephant in the room. I can give a person a pass for being not a pass, but I can give a person acknowledgement if they know that they're doing wrong. And they don't care, like Graham. But if you think that you have the position of power and everybody else around you sees a different thing, like that's I don't say stupid, but like how can you? Okay, fine. He's invested. This is his job. This is his chore. Like I said a long time ago in a reading of his, he wants to be close to Trump. He wants to be like him, blah, blah, blah. And so he's invested. There's a Queen of Swords here. So he's willing to be the dirty guy, you know, the hatchet job guy. Yeah, taking that unwanted post. He likes it. He wants to be just like Trump. And there he is. It's that smugness, that greed, I got it all type of thing. He doesn't see that he's on the wrong side. He just doesn't see it. Oh well. Jim Jordan. Now he is ugly. And I'm not talking about his looks. I don't judge people's looks, but his soul, his heart is just ugly. And then he gets the King, the Knight of Cups. Yeah, see, this is the type of person that knows better, but he does it anyway. Knight of Cups is pretty on the outside, but empty on the inside. For attention to be that person of power, he gets this too. He's also invested. The ultimate liar with the magician. They do this stuff on purpose. Matt Gates or Rick Gates or whatever his name is, he's just stupid. He's doing this. He doesn't quite understand. Jim Jordan understands fully and does it anyway. He's the support system. Like there are people built into both sides of the aisle that will argue you down based on something incorrect. They will be wrong no matter who is in office. And he's one of them people. Lindsey Graham, I think, was bought along the way because he thought that Donald Trump wasn't going to win. So he came out and did all this talking. And then once Donald Trump won, Paul Ryan said, give him a chance. And then next thing you know, everybody's up his behind. When have you ever heard Lindsey Graham going golfing? And then he goes to Donald Trump's golf club. They have a good time. And now Lindsey is like his pet. Some hurt feelings. And he gets it too. Well, Jesus. They're all invested. Every single last one of them. Gates, Jim Jordan, Lindsey Graham, Cracker Graham. They're all invested. Every single last one of them. He gets the liar too. He also gets the White House. Yep. There is a feeling attached to Donald Trump too. Like there's some admiration here. And I think it's like a overcoming the odds type of thing. This is Lindsey Graham wants to do something else, but at this point, he can't. Now, I am very interested to see if Donald Trump gets impeached, he's out of office. What will he say then? Will he try to appeal and all this other kind of stuff, or will he dog him out? Because Mitt Romney did the same thing. But that's very true, Ian. I can't wait to see it too. So let's look at this. If Mike Pence is the president, well, let's see how likely that is. Give me 3 cards. 6 of Swords fell out. There's your transition. So let's see how likely that is. It's very likely. The Ace of Pentacles is your new opportunity. There's the Hermit, isolation, the guy in charge here. And there's the Magician, the one with the power. Okay, so how would he do? We started 36 minutes ago, Connie. Well, sort of. 8 minutes of me just being frustrated, but you ain't missed much. It should be on YouTube after a while, though, anyway. How would he do? 10 of Wands. There's the hard work and the burden, so he will work. I don't know on what, but he will work. You know, that's a thing from back in the day when they would call their wives mother. Because there was my family tree, some people who did that too. They were not my immediates though, but Knight of Wands, man of action. Moving forward, moving on. Six of Cups. I don't know what that means. Now, this is a stuck in the past. This childish energy. See, here's the thing. Like, if Mike Pence is president, will Donald Trump leave him alone? There is some childish energy here, and it's surrounding the hardworking person. Now, like I said, I don't know what he's working on, but he will do some work. Four of Cups and the Hangman. So a reluctant position and then a difficult position. But this is when you put yourself in because you decided you wanted to be VP to a man who was going to be impeached inevitably. Page of Wands and the Magician. I think it takes about 6 months and then you get to do your own thing and you won't have to speak about Donald Trump anymore. Like messages about your power and your position. 6 weeks to 6 months. Your fear is the work. Your hopes is completion. The Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles. So this is your new job. This is something tangible that the Emperor brings to you. The World is in your word of warning. So completion is not necessarily a good thing for you because I think your name may be added to the books with a caveat or asterisk. So you may not be there long either. But you have some support. See, here's the thing. And then 10 of Swords and the Hermit. So somebody loses and then somebody goes it alone. I don't think that they're going to try to get Pence out because I think that Nancy Pelosi doesn't like disruption. So I don't think she's going to necessarily go after Pence the way she should, but at least not while he's in office. Fingers crossed. But there is someone who loses with the 10 of Swords. And then there's someone who goes it alone. So if you get your position of power, you either have to get rid of Donald Trump or they're going to get rid of you too. Like you have to get him out of the White House. Yeah, it's Donald. So there's this Three of Cups that I keep getting for these two people. Yeah, they get rid of Donald Trump and then you can move on and be the acting president. Since everything in this administration is acting one thing or the other. Yeah, there's a new title for you. It just doesn't go well. it just doesn't go well. Because you have a very hard time in the months that you are president. Oh well. And I don't know if Republican, well, that's going to be my next question. Do you have Republican support? Because if they're turning on Trump, then they got to be looking at somebody. That's my thing. Like, they do coddle Donald Trump, so they're not going to do that with him. So do you have Republican support? In the beginning, yes. There's the world. So you do have some support once it's all complete. Once the fool is gone and then you're the new emperor, then yes, because you have the pen now, so they can get some things done because here's the work and here's the money. So like getting things through the house is probably why it just doesn't go well for you, but because Nancy will play along as long as you play along with her. Because as you know, as slow as she was on this, she does know what she's doing when it comes to politics. So he will have Republican support, but what he needs more is Nancy support. So he's going to have a hard time. So who's the next to drop out? Let's see if it'll tell me. King of Wands. Fire sign man. There's the hardship. Five of Pentacles. Two of Rods. There's plans. And King of Wands. Now, who's the fire sign man on the Democratic field? That's the next one. That's what this says anyway. I can't find my phone all of a sudden. So, fire sign man. I'll have to look up and see who that is next. Okay. So, Russia, I think Biden is a water sign. So, maybe Corey or Andrew. I don't know which one's a fire sign, though. So Russia is going to start to privatize their internet. So it will not be open to the rest of the world. They said it's because of the threat of cyber hacking. Is his election coming up anytime soon? I don't think it is. It's like 2 years, isn't it? Vladimir Putin's. So maybe he fears election hacking on his end too. So why are you doing this? Eight of Cups, walking away from something. There's an abandonment or a new project that you must start. New line of defense, Ace of Rods. So someone has tried to hack you as well. I don't know what they're trying to hack. Something of stability. So maybe mainframe. I know this happened during the Obama presidency. I can't remember which one. I think it was North Korea. Or was it Russia? I don't remember. But he turned the lights out. And he turned the internet off for the whole country. I forget who it was, though. But it was North Korea, because North Korea hacked us when that movie was coming out that showed Kim Jong-un being killed. And so they hacked us. And so Obama hacked them and then turned everything off. Lights, internet, everything. It's like everything went off. And so I think it's a mainframe thing over in Russia too. Something from the past, something that's been done before. High Priestess. So this is not completely clear though either. There's other things I think they do if there's maybe some election interference. The Hierophant, there's the government. So they do fear some of that too. Five of Cups. There is a lot of fear around it though. Two of Pentacles. Two of Cups, Ace of Swords. So they're going to do it, but yeah, it's both. It's election and mainframe. So they fear as though maybe if some sort of war to break, because mind you, I think Vladimir Putin can see this a mile away too. We're going to have more than likely a Democratic president. And he knows Democrats don't actually like him. So if you're going to go out and invade other people's countries, they're going to reinstate sanctions, and they may do a little other things. So he's trying to protect himself. Hopefully you don't, because that's one person in the world does not need. Shouldn't wish bad on anybody, but that in particular person, yes. Someone who can just poison somebody or kill somebody in broad daylight, yeah. So Senate. Yeah, Beto dropped out today. The Senate, will it go blue for 2020? I've done this before, but things change. Because Lindsey Graham is going to give up his spot on the, I think, what is the Judiciary Committee? Not Judiciary, I don't know. Whatever committee he's on, he's going to give it up to Chuck Grassley or Tim Grassley or whatever the hell his name is. Because he used to be there in the beginning. So he's just going back to his post. And so, but Grassley can only go back to their post if the Republicans maintain control of the Senate. So, will the Senate go blue in 2020? Camera, stop playing with me. Ace of Cups. Two of Cups. Seven of Swords. Nine of Wands. And the Queen of Wands. And the Two of Wands. So if everything goes the way it's supposed to, then yes. Ace of Cups is that new relationships, new energies, new beginnings. We have the new people, the new alliances here down at the bottom. So you may even get some freshmen. There's a strategy here. It's a very tough one because the country is still very divided in politics. And then you have that sort of Nancy Pelosi energy here coming in saying that, yes, he will. And then the new plans to start off the new administration. So it will go blue as of right now. So Greta Thunberg, I think is how you say her name, the one who is advocating, who she's now the face of climate change, of the climate change fight. She said it would be a waste of time to meet with Donald Trump. So I want to see if that's true or not. Now, mind you, on first glance, you could say yes, it's true because he doesn't care about climate change. Neither does his supporters. Neither does his donors. Blah, 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 blah. But he is the person with the pen. So if you need something done, you do have to talk to somebody eventually. So maybe she'll just wait for a sane person to get in, or maybe she should talk to him because one-on-one, he listens to people. In a crowd, he does not. If he can listen to, well, Kim Kardashian and people like that, then he can listen to her. But, you know, and I'm not saying he's going to do anything about it because, mind you, he still has Republicans in his ear telling you that we have too much invested in destroying the world. And, you know, the question always remains, if you destroy this Earth, what planet are you going to? I mean, yes, there's 8 in the solar system. You can go to any one of them, but you cannot survive. And then what are you going to use your money on? Who are you going to buy Venus from? Not to mention it's 800 degrees there. I get attitude when it's 90 degrees. So Greta, should you talk to Donald Trump? There's the balancing act. 2 of Pentacles. Knight of Cups. So the answer is no already. I mean, it would be fruitless. The Knight of Cups is a mirage. This is the person who, he sounds good, he talks a good game, or they talk a good game, and then all of a sudden, Page of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, 9 of Pentacles, the Lovers. He can be reached, though. I don't know by you, but by money. It's like he understands when people speak to him. But he's invested in this in particular cycle. This whole Republicans rule the world right now type of thing, and then everything we say goes, and you must do the things we need you to do, so forth and so forth. So yeah, you can reach him, but you're probably not going to, but we'll keep going. The Fear is the 10 of Wands, burden. Temperance, again, there is some talking. Thank you, Kathy. There's a lot of work that has to be put into that. And that's bright. 6 of Pentacles. He can help. Can he help you? Probably not. Like, there's a lot of, this is not a conversation that you can have one time. I wouldn't put her along with him either. But this is not a conversation you could have one time. This is something you have to keep going back and keep going back. And you have to spin it in a way to where he is the person that looks good. Like, he is the one that's doling out the salvation of the planet. You have to make it seem as though he is the savior. He understands things like that. The people who wrote all his little memos and things like that in the beginning said he doesn't pay attention to things unless you put his name in it. So if you put his name on saving the world, then yes, it would make sense to him. Not to say that he would do it, because he still has Republicans in his ear, but That's the way you get things done. So Paula White is a pastor, preacher, evangelist, prophet, somebody. I don't know what she claims to be now, but what she's going up for. She is Donald Trump's spiritual advisor. And I don't even understand. She is probably the person in the White House that literally has nothing to do. You are Donald Trump's spiritual advisor? Spell spiritual advisor, and then I'll believe that. It's like, so he is now giving her a job. So she now officially works for the White House. She is the spiritual advisor or the religious advisor in the Office of Public Liaison. So, what kind of spiritual advice are you giving him? Be the grossest person you possibly can. But then again, she's just like him. She's a prophet, Profit. So, you know. She's a part of one of these. But well, anyway, I won't start all this insulting. What is her life going to be like post Donald Trump? Because mind you, religious people don't really care. They just want you to be religious. As long as you're not, you know, advocating abortion or gay rights, they're pretty much on your side. I used to be a murderer, but I turned my life over to Christ. Yay, murderer. So it's now, what is her life going to be like post Donald Trump? Because you got to go home at some point. At some point. Donald Trump will not be president. At some point. Now, I think her life will be fine, actually. Why? Because she has a big church. She is a big fundraiser for Trinity Broadcasting Network. So they ain't letting that go. But I will say this too, because I seen her back in my religious days. I never really cared for her because she had too much. In certain instances, she was trying too hard to be like one of the homegirls type of thing, you know, the way she talked anyway. But she used to have a lot of Black support. And that's kind of going by the wayside. But Trinity Broadcasting Network is not really Black people friendly. So, right now, post-Trump, Two of Swords. So she's kind of at a crossroads too. As, you know, what do I do? Where do I go? She goes back to her church. Well, there's some loss here. Ten of Swords. Ooh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she doesn't have a easy transition. Mind you, her outcome card is one of them is the Temperance. So she has some healing to do. And that's you know, that kind of irritates me a little bit. Like I'm not the best of people. I will say that. I'm not a person who gives other people second chances, even though everybody deserves a second chance. I understand. I'm not that person just yet. I've not matured just yet. So it irritates me when all you got to do is stand up in front of the crowd and say, me and God had a talk and now I'm forgiven. Like, that irritates me. Like, there's no real consequence to what she's doing. She can go and say Donald Trump is found guilty and all the proof is out there and everybody sees it and there's no denying it. All she has to say is she was clouded. She didn't have clear vision. She didn't do this. And then she asked the church for forgiveness and then she's forgiven. And then she goes back on to her little prophet parades and all this type of stuff. Like that irritates me. But back onto this, the magician. So this is kind of what I was just saying. So this is the person who comes in and casts the illusions. So she loses here at post-Trump right in the beginning, but then you stand up, you perform your magic trick, say, God forgave me, y'all should too. The Fool and the Three of Cups. Because it reminds me of people like Eddie Long and people like that other dude who was crying on TV after all his business came out. Eddie Long, he was mentoring these three young men, and they said that he started sending them inappropriate. Well, not started. He was sending them inappropriate pictures. Now, mind you, he wasn't naked, but he had like on his gym clothes, posing with his biceps and all this, and he's sending it to these little boys. He was putting them on the private planes and all these type of things. And then he goes in front of his church and he's all forgiven. Some people left, but not a lot. His church is still packed. He was still extremely rich. Now, mind you, I'm not saying he really didn't do good in the world, but this is the same person who went to the gay pride parades and marched against it. He had his signs up saying it was sin and God, Sodom and Gomorrah and all this. But he's off mentoring these three boys and showing them pictures of his biceps and his gym clothes. And never once said he didn't do it. Juggling. Page of Wands. So all you got to do is give the right message. Give the right message. That's all she's got to do. The magician knows the way. So just give the right message. You fear that her fear is the Tower. Her hopes is the Eight of Swords. In your environment, the Nine of Pentacles. This is you, the woman of money and luxury. And then regret behind you. Didn't I just say this? This is what she's going to do. She's going to come out and say, I was wrong. All is forgiven. That's your word of warning is the Justice card. That's too bright again. It's justice. Balance. This is what is warning you here. This is going to get out of hand post-Trump. Queen of Cups, but you still have a very close support system. And then this is your church, Four of Wands, and you will make amends, and all will be right. Lord have mercy. Well, yeah, let's do that. Okay, I got one more. Donald Trump Jr. has got a book he's promoting. And he's going on The View next week. Take bad ideas and screaming match for 100, Alex. He also said he wished he could be like Hunter Biden and cash in on his father. It's like the things y'all say, do you actually think before you speak at all? So he's going on The View to the Lion's Den itself. Now, mind you, people always, after a Republican leaves that show, say they were unfair to them, that this and this. But Republicans have very weird ideas. And so when they get challenged, then people think that that's confrontation. They're not being confrontational, they're challenging your idea. That's what the show is about. And so when you go on there and you don't support this, or you don't, thank you, Cynthia, or support that, then they ask you why. So how's this going to go? Badly. I don't say badly on the show, not with joy, because badly is not a word. Knave of Wands. So here you are. You have a message, you have an agenda. I don't think you can. The best thing to do when you go into these type of things is try to control the tempo of the conversation. But you can do that when it's one person. You can even do that when it's two people. You cannot do that when there's 5 people sitting there. And you definitely cannot do that when there's 5 opinionated people sitting there. So you got more, oh Lord, there's some emotion. So I wonder if, because see, Meghan McCain, I don't think she's necessarily a Donald Trump Jr. supporter, but somebody's going to be very emotional, and this is going to make a headline. Somebody, because there's news and emotions. So there's a headline coming. The Emperor. So he is going to try to control the tempo. I don't really think he can. That's the name of them, by the way. I don't think he can. Ace of Swords. Now, he will get his agenda across because they're not going to invite him on the show and not let him plug his book, because they have preset questions for this type of thing. So he will do that. 4 of Swords, but your strategy takes a back seat because the conversation gets out of hand quickly. 7 of, why is he doing this? This is the worst place for anybody in that administration to go. The worst. He can probably go to Colbert and Colbert will make fun of him, but he'll still have a conversation. He can go to that other guy, Seth, and he can probably have a conversation. He can even go to Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah, they'll have a conversation. The View is going to have way too many questions for him to not answer. And it's all going to be about his father. And then if they bring up the Trump Tower meeting and then the Nothing Burger, and how he cannot do this. But there is defending, because I think the Republicans on the panel, especially if Abby Huntsman is there, her father works in the administration, somebody is going to sort of have your back. You may have to have a conversation with them before you enter the show to sort of steer the meeting, steer the interview. Like I said, take control of the narrative. There's the fears, the 10 of Cups. They're going to eat you alive. And everybody, I don't care who you are, that has been on that panel, all of them are scared of Whoopi Goldberg. The moment she gets attitude, everybody gets silent. So I mean, this screaming, she did check Meghan the other day that the headlines are saying. So this screaming match may happen, it may not. We'll see. But there's a bad balance to things right there. This is going to be out of control. 6 of Pentacles. That's what he's hoping for. And the Hermit. Isolated and alone. But there will be an emotion that comes out of it. And if it's not coming out on the show, he will go to, like Mike Huckabee did, he will go to Fox News and say they were the worst people in the world, like Janine Pirro did, like Sarah Huckabee Sanders did. The moment they leave The View, they say that they were treated very badly. treated very bad, not badly. Should be interesting. All right, that's all I had. Lord. So tomorrow, what did you miss? Everything. I'm done now. It'll be on the playback eventually. Tomorrow, I have and that's another thing. You know, Sonny ain't going for that. I have a live stream that I am doing that is for free readings. If you want a free reading, it will be tomorrow. The live stream is only going to be 1 hour, though, and it starts at 7 o'clock Central Time. I already have some emailed questions. I'm going to start with those and then do first come, first serve, or first sight. Because as I said, I don't actually look at the screen the whole time. But I will do that tomorrow. So if you want a free reading, come in tomorrow and I will do free readings for 1 hour. If not, just want to sit and watch, you can do that too. But for those who do want a free reading tomorrow, just beware that this is public. So this is a reading in front of everybody. And also beware that this will be on YouTube as a video. So it will stay there and it will stay public. So if you want one, I'll be here tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Yeah, 7 o'clock Central Time. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.